Well, we rely on our cell phones for just about everything these days, from tracking our food deliveries to keeping in touch with our family and friends. Simply put, technology has made our lives much easier. But at what cost? Last week, it was revealed that the Center for Disease Control purchased access to the phone data of millions of Americans, partially for COVID tracking, but the agency also bought the information to use in 21 other areas. This comes hard on the heels of a report looking into police activity after the killing of George Floyd, revealed that Minneapolis police use covert or fake social media accounts to keep tabs on Black residents and groups, despite having no clear public safety rationale for doing it.
I'm sorry to tell you people, when you are on social media and you give up your likes and your posts and your photos, it all goes into the international archive of your behavior.
When most Americans sign up for that free Gmail account or joining Facebook and Twitter, very little thought is given when we check the boxes that allows all of those platforms to essentially track our digital lives. Our mobile phones, for all intents and purposes, are trackers that can take someone from obscurity to a person of interest.
Police at the state and local level and federal level have devices called stingrays, which are quite powerful. And what they do is track the metadata from your cell phone.
Stingrays are devices that mimic cell phone towers and sends out signals to interrupt your cell phone signal, capturing your location and your information. Originally designed for the military and intelligence community to track down groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. According to the American Civil Liberties Union, there are 75 agencies in 27 states and the District of Columbia that own stingrays.
And often without getting a warrant, they can track your location data. They can track your web browsing. They know who you called and how long you spoke to that person. They can track your incoming and outgoing text messages.
While not using controversial devices such as the Stingray, which the ACLU has sued several cities over its use, the CDC's tracking and data has also raised the ire of privacy watchers.
Not all data should be collected about us. Some of my phone information is private to me. So I think until we have that conversation around privacy, as well as these safeguards, we're going to still land up in the same place.
In an America divided over defunding the police and vaccine mandates, the use of cell phone location data does not appear it will bridge any gaps. In the case of the CDC, even if the data usage was effective in informing the agency on the pandemic spread, it will do nothing to quell the anger of anti-vaccine and anti-mask group who already see the government of overreach. The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution protects the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. The debate continues in the digital age if these transfers and intercepts fall into that protection. Author Fassman believes it is clear.
Most of our Fourth Amendment law is written for a time when our most private communications were stored in, a lockbox with a turnkey on pen and paper, or in a bank safety deposit box. That's just not the case anymore, and the law hasn't caught up yet, and it really needs to.
From 2011 to 2016, the hit CBS drama Person of Interest demonstrated growing reach of the surveillance society. 11 years ago, when it debuted, it seemed like sci-fi. Now, with data collecting, stingrays, and facial recognition, it is very much reality and impacting people's lives, not always for the better.
People have to understand we live in a society where we have many more cameras, not as many as people in places like China, but we have a lot of cameras that are picking up our daily activities. And the extent to which we have some, jurisprudence over those devices, I think is still questionable.
The days of not checking the box that gives big tech access to our data is long gone, but the solution may be found in much more old-fashioned methods.
I think people should be really, really attentive to how their own data is used. And I think people need to start showing up to city council meetings, county council meetings, and just asking the question, not being necessarily combative, but just saying, hey, what are you collecting about me? How are you using it? Why are you doing it? Who is making sure that you do what you say you're going to do? And when are you getting rid of this data about me? So I think people have to take a much more proactive approach in making themselves as free as possible online.
Today, there is still no federal data privacy law, but there is a growing consensus in the private and public sector for more laws and restrictions.
A big thanks to Stephen Granick for that report there.